Everybody, please give your love to Kent Burns.
Power to the people, everybody, and Black Lives Matter. I want to thank everybody for coming out. It's going to be selling in the streets. It's not going to be selling from Washington, not from Fairley, not from City Hall. It's the streets, the streets, the streets. That's where it's going to be selling at. We have to vote like butterflies. We have to stay like bees. We have to teach them a lesson that we never forget. It's the streets, the streets, the streets.
Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Black lives matter. We're
Hello, everybody. The Wall of Moms has been a huge thing for us ever since they landed. We've had Mom Tifa, we've had Dad Tifa with the blowers come out. Everybody, welcome and thank you again so much. Since a new crowd just showed up on day 58, I want to reintroduce everybody to a staple of Portland activism, of true mutual assisted, Kent Ford. Thank you, everybody. Black Panther Party, y'all!
We've had people from all walks of life down here. We have ministers, we have rabbis, but we haven't had anybody from an Islamic community here. And tonight we have speakers from the Islamic community. Power to the people. Black Lives Matter, you guys. We have, it's my honor and privilege to introduce Brandon Mayfield. You guys remember Brandon Mayfield? He took a hit back in the day, right across the street at the Federal Courthouse. They indicted him on that 311 in Spain. There was no plane ticket, there was no trip. It turned out to be bogus. But he's here to speak to us tonight. And let's everybody give Brandon Mayfield a big hand. He's from the Islamic community. Thank you, thank you.
Can you hear me? Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Oregonians. I am a former Patriot missile platoon leader. I'm an attorney. I'm a brother. I'm a father. And I am a concerned citizen. One who was bugged, surveilled, tracked, arrested, wrongfully arrested, and brought in leg shackles, belly chains to this courthouse, federal courthouse that you see to your left. And I was detained here. And in my mind, it was going to be indefinitely at this detention center, right behind me, right in front of you. And how did this happen? It was done in conjunction with federal agents, FBI agents, secret federal agencies, working with, in conjunction with the Portland Police Bureau, in an organization known as the Joint Terrorism Task Force. And I'm here tonight to remind you that we are ducks, not goons. Let me say that again. I'm here to remind you that we are ducks, not goons. Oregonians do not want federal law enforcement officers here in Portland in a show of force. Our city commissioners do not want them here. Our Portland mayor does not want them here. The Attorney General does not want them here. Our governor does not want them here. You do not want them here. Our U.S. representatives do not want them here. For example, just last week, Representative Blumenauer and Bonamici, they upped the ante, and they called for the DH Secretary, Chad Wolf, to resign. Blumenauer asked for him to respond by Monday. Here's what he said. We cannot accept the department's recent use of unidentified federal agents in military gear patrolling the city of Portland in unmarked vehicles, nor can we accept the recent plans to expand this tactic to other American cities. What did the Secretary say in response last Tuesday? He took issue with the idea that federal officers were engaged in anything other than vigorous law enforcement. He said specifically, I quote, DHS officers on assignment wear camouflage just as they do when they work on the border. He said, these police officers are not stormtroopers. They are not Gestapo. He said, that is offensive.
Show your face!
But I say, if it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
The fucking duck!
If it walks and it dresses like Gestapo, or stormtrooper, or paramilitary, you call it Gestapo. From my vantage point, and I'm honored to be here, and I'm invigorated, and I'm excited because I see a future of political activists. All I see is peaceful looking Oregon ducks in this vicinity. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be complacent. We are not at the U.S. border. We are not in a war zone. You do not wear camo in residential city streets. Do not, I repeat, do not disgrace the service of those who honorably served our military. These same concerns I have, they've been echoed by the mayor, who's likened the federal presence to pouring gasoline on an open flame. Governor Kate Brown ended all communication with the DHS after asking them and his officers to leave the city immediately. This crowd is large. How many of you were here last night? Power to you. How many of you heard Joanne Hardesty? Yes. She agrees with other elected officials in Oregon who say federal police dispatched to the city by the president are an occupying army. They represent a blatant abuse of power and are shadowy forces that have been escalating, not preventing violence. Amen. Federal assault began on this city on July 1st when federal agents began openly targeting Black Lives Matter supporters. Then on July 12th, a U.S. Marshal shot Donovan Labella, a non-aggressive protester, in the face, leaving him in the hospital with serious life-threatening injuries. Days later, there was reports of Border Patrol agents in camo grabbing people off the street. We should not only condemn these paramilitary operations, but those who choose to collaborate with them. And we should not lose sight of the irony of the situation where protests sparked by excessive police force have been met first by local police force, then escalated with the presence of a paramilitary occupying federal police force. After all, the Portland protests were spurred by the murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, bolstered by lingering grief over the deaths of Kendra James, Jason Washington, as well as many others killed by local police.
James Chassie.
But let's not forget, once these federal goons leave, PPB will still be here with their own tear gas, pepper ball, disproportionately targeting the city, black, Muslim, immigrants, indigenous, The problem's not just coming from above. Additional troops are coming below and beside us. Just recently, PPB announced that 8 other agencies helped police protests, including Multnomah County, Clackamas, Washington County, Sheriff's Office, Port of Portland Police, Vancouver and Gresham Police, Oregon State Police, Oregon National Guard, even the Washougal Police, a small police department 25 miles away in Washington. Nearly all of these are part of the JTTF, which collaborate regularly with federal police and the FBI.
No out-of-state police.
Why is this problematic? For constitutionality and accountability. We cannot trust the tactics and ulterior motives of the federal law enforcement agencies like the FBI, the Border Control, Federal Protective Services, Homeland Security, who have a history of targeting Muslims, immigrants, and African Americans cruelly,
the mentally ill.
and unfairly. Oregon should be proud that we're the first sanctuary state, and Portland says that they are a sanctuary city. If so, then step up and take immediate measures to withdraw from Joint Terrorism Task Force. Surveillance, tactics, intelligence gathering activity that target people for their ethnic, religious, and political affiliations without evidence of criminal involvement or probable cause. These attacks are prohibited by Oregon Constitution, regulations, rules, laws, including ORS 181A250. Our local law enforcement officers are co-opting these values and safeguards by cooperating and working with these agencies who do not follow, nor do they have to follow, these values. So, in sum, brothers and sisters, fellow Oregonians, ducks who look like they're calm on the surface but are paddling hard under the water. Keep paddling, Oregon ducks. Let's work to put the goons out of Portland in collaboration with Oregon City, county, state law enforcement, with federal agencies not bound or respectful of our rules. I think tonight, on July 25th, 2020, after over how many days? 58 days of protest. We are ducks, not goons. We are ducks, not goons. We are ducks, not goons. We are ducks, not goons.
We are ducks, not goons. We are ducks, not goons. We are ducks, not goons. We are ducks, not goons.
Thank you for allowing me to share with you some of my thoughts and concerns. I'm going to turn it over to our wonderful brother, Town, our Oregon chapter, local chapter, state chapter, Council on American Islamic Relations, CMOD.
I'm a beaver, just saying. But I'll fight with you.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Make this last one big. Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! That is a statistical expression. It is factual. My name is Simad Husseini, and I'm a co-founder and vice chair to the Council on American Islamic Relations Oregon chapter, better known as CARE Oregon. We're also an organizational member of Portland United Against Hate, a coalition of clergy, of community organizers, of all kinds of progressive organizations, over 70 of us in this city, who actually built a foundation to be able to hold accountable hate crimes that actually happen in this city, and basically make sure that we're able to do something that Portland Police Bureau failed to do and did not want to do. So I do want to let you guys know that as a Muslim community organizer, I cannot do enough to provide lasting solutions to what my community suffers if what I am doing does not address Black Lives Matter. I've been with many of you for much of this 58 days now. We've been indiscriminately gassed, hit by non-lethal munitions, whatever that shit that means, by Portland Police Bureau for over 50 days until the feds decided to join the fun. We tended to those hurt, but we still got together. We tended to those hurt. We feed and clothe the community. We offer mutual aid and support. You guys understand Riot Ribs over there against all odds. Foundations of the mutual aid and support laid down here in Portland by Kent Ford, a Black Panther. And now we're joining lawsuits against the city. Many of them.
Yeah.
So with you all together, I feel solidarity
Sue the
in
cop
fighting
broke.
this authoritarian breach into our state right next door. But they're just a blip. They're a reminder that our issues here within the city have been laid in foundation by actors throughout this country, trying to lay foundations. You see this building. Look up, everybody. This building. Look at the building right next door. Look at the building to the south. They have laid these foundations to track and monitor us. Do you know about the Joint Terrorism Task Force?
Fuck those guys.
A few yeses. Brother Brandon Mayfield had worked the better part of 12 years, and I joined 3 years ago to help withdraw Portland Police Bureau from the Joint Terrorism Task Force.
Yeah. Fuck
It was
the
a
feds.
campaign promise from Joanne Hardestein. We're also grateful for her. She came in last year. She said that that would be her primary function, and she did it. Now, for those of you that may not know what Joint Terrorism Task Force is, I'm here to speak about systems here locally. And I'm going to start wide with the feds and break it in narrow for us. According to Brennan Justice Center's study, the Joint Terrorism Task Force are FBI-led partnerships among federal, state, and local agencies whose primary mission is to detect, prevent, investigate acts of terrorism within their jurisdiction. Bullshit. JTTFs operate locally and serve as a conduit for the federal government to exchange information with state and local law enforcement since 9/11. Fusion centers may report suspicious activities to their local JTTF for investigations. So these buildings that you see contain fusion centers that create the foundations to spy upon our local communities. We kick JTTF out, and the reason why we do that is to be able to make sure that our communities stay safe. But they're not completely gone. We want Black lives to matter. But if these systems of oversight are still here in the county, In Multnomah County, they are still here with the Sheriff's Department. They are still tracking and watching our activities, ourselves. No matter who we call ourselves, no matter how we organize, we are still being tracked. We're still being monitored by these systems. Our activities are considered counterproductive. Every single one of you here. But look around, look at our numbers. So when we say Black Lives Matter, when we all come together over here, I hope I'm thinking about 5,000 people, more or less. This is huge. This is a collective exhale. Every single day. Yes. Yes, sister. I have been here every day. I'm not grabbing a mic every day. So what does substantive reform look like? Follow Unite Oregon and PALF to find out what $50 million in defunding looks like. Ask your Multnomah County Commissioners how we get $50 million withdrawn from not only our local police force, but how we get defunding policies taking place to make sure that Black lives are not being murdered here in this county, in this city, in this state. This is a lot. This movement is our collective exhale. As a Muslim community organizer, I cannot do enough to provide solutions for what my community suffers if I can't address Black Lives Matter. I try not to stand up here on stage, I don't want to, but there is a facet of work to be done, and I'm glad to be able to stand behind it. When I step down off this stage, I'm gonna hand the mic back to Kent Burns, Kent Ford, to a Black Panther, a founder of mutual aid and support here in Portland. Thank you for letting me speak. Thank you very much. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter, everybody. Power to the people.
Black Lives Matter.
Let's give our two brothers up here a big hand for the powerful speeches that they gave. Thank everybody for coming out. Thank the gentleman for bringing this portable mic in here so we'll be able to use it. Let's back. Let's stay in the streets. 58 days. We got this. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not going to be selling in Washington or Salem or at City Hall. It's going to be selling in the streets. We've done more than 58 days in civil rights done in 58 years. Let's float like butterflies. Let's sting like bees. Watch each other's back. Thank you, everybody. Power to the people. Black Lives Matter.
Power to the people. Black Lives Matter.
Thanks, Brandon.
Sorry.
Okay. I love everything that was being said, but also we gotta remember these mamas are out here too, fighting for us, and we have a mission for tonight. Okay, guys? Usually the JC is just the JC and us getting buck wild at the JC, but there's more than just the JC. There's more places we should be going. There's more places we should be in every part of fucking Portland. Or they want to get buck with the cops. But listen, the cops get mad when we go in the city, guys. Not in the city, but out into the neighborhoods. They get mad. They get really mad. Seriously, guys, because they're not supposed to tear gas out there, supposedly, but they do. And then the neighbors get pissed. So, I just want to say,
City Hall's right there.
my group has been thinking about maybe we should take over I-5. So, I know there's a lot of people out here. We haven't fully talked about how we're going to do it, but I just want to put it in your head that we want to take over I-5. Because these are our streets, those are ours too, right? So just keep it in your head that, what do we want to do? Alright, that was really slacking. What do we want to do?
Take over I-5!
Yeah, we want to shut down I-5. Okay? Because
Right there!
these are
Let's
our
run up
streets.
Clay!
People need to hear how we feel. People should feel everything I feel every single day that I've dealt with in my whole life.
Yeah!
You white people should be fighting till the day you die, because I've been fighting my whole life.
Yeah!
And I thank every ally out here. And moms, yes, we still are doing our plan that we said. Just because you guys didn't hear my voice, don't get it twisted. I didn't forget about y'all, because I'm a mom too, so I understand. So, we're going to the Marriott hotels. Hopefully I said that right. Where supposedly the feds are staying there, and they have been having them there. This is where we're going to go. So, I'd like this entire fucking crowd to follow. But there's more than just the JC. This is just the beginning, guys. This is just where we meet. This is just where we come together. There's other organizations doing things
do you
outside
think?
of here. I run with Black Unity PDX. Okay? Black Unity PDX.